Hey guys, welcome back to Disco Elysium. We're gonna carry on where we left off. I think we'd just spoken to Everett, Claire, and then the group of people. What do they call them? Oh, what are they called now? The Hardy Boys. And now we're gonna go upstairs and speak to the lady that we spoke to at the start of the game, finally, although in a different context than I initially thought. I thought she was going to be the 7th Hardy Boy. A Hardy Girl, if you will. Which I'm sure you will. So now, let's see if we get another option. I think we are going to, so let's knock. Who is it? A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door. Tired and controlled. This is the police. Can we come in? Come on up, the door is open, she shouts. I'm drying my hair. Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. Yeah, well, we could. Hotel bill calculations. Look like she's had an extended stay. Piles of dirty clothes. A woman's. Strange that. See the yard below. The corpse is no longer there. Well, that's good. As soon as we removed it. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills haphazardly stacked on one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. Look at the toothbrush. It's been used quite a lot. But not for scrubbing blood off tiles or anything else interesting, it seems. Look at the medications. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet and pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, AP, eye drops, blood thinners. There's quite a collection in there. Anything of note? Yes, and a low advice. Search the bottles. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads NACRA. NACRA. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. Whisper. NACRA, opioid antagonist. There, opioid. Keep saying that wrong. Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses. Lieutenant nods, then looks at the door. You could say he's on the lookout. Search the pill sheets. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? She's going to take a little know-how. Got a good chance of success. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters, jackpot baby, that's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. No. What's so exciting about this orange bottle? It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide. Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine prescription speed. The F are you waiting for? Let's get a super effing preppy. Close cabinet. You see, we got nerves of steel over here. We don't need all this stuff. That was all there was, wasn't there? Okay, let's go. Bed has been hastily made. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Run your finger across the surface of the glass. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges, but the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface. This window was recently replaced. Looks like it, yes. He adjusts his glasses. So a smashed window here. What would that lead us to believe? Or lead us to believe, should I say? Oh man, there's been containers I should have been opening with pry bars. Smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra, menthol. Bad door. It's a small heavy door. There's no lock in sight. Yeah. Where does this lead to? I don't know. He makes a note in his notebook. It's not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. Do you think it's important? I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and he nods towards the young woman. A number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. The story is part of it. It's not unimportant. Push. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy too. Very sturdy. Okay. We get a little bit of money for every one of these green things that we click, by the way. Handful of dried white wildflowers. Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. Yeah, let's try and grab them. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a maybell. Classy. I'll try and pronounce. I'll butcher the pronunciation for that rather than go for that every time. Classy. The young woman looks at the maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of a cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. Snap your finger pistols at him. Gotta be done. Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols produce a satisfying snap. Strange for such low caliber finger gun to sound so chunky. The flower in your other hand is impressed. So is Kim. It's not entirely true. The lieutenant is looking at the door to the east and mostly misses them. Okay, cool. Yeah, hello.
Welcome to the roof.
Young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you got here.
Much nicer now.
Oh yeah. Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell is opened in there.
Disco Inferno?
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have ever seen in my life, and I have seen a few. Oh yeah, life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the effort or swagger that prompts one to plough into grannies on your morning stroll. Okay. It's gotten pretty hard in the meantime, but go on. How long do you think until hard wears us down? Things are only getting easier for me and my policeman to do imitate a siren. Ain't seen nothing yet. There's a karaoke stage downstairs. Hell yeah.
Wow.
She shakes her head in silent disbelief, breathing in the coffee smell. Johnny Law is about to tear it up, sad
I
style.
assure you, he's not about to tear it up in any style. In fact...
We'll show him. You'll tear it up all... I'm assuming that means you'll tear it up in all the styles.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk.
Ah, I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed, her eyes on the cigarette. So what is your name, miss, for the record? Classe Amandu. Same name that Titus gave you. Like her accent, it sounds Orangezy. Her birthmarks also signal Orange. You don't know why, but Orange's girls tend to come speckled with them. And how old are you? I'm 28, she takes a drag. And are you from Orange? Right, sir. Red for Republic of Orange. I guess you could say I'm an Orange's expatriate. Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Orange's map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head and dissipates. Something for later. So what is Orange? A bad memory, officer. The Republic of Orange is a democratic nation on the Mundi Iola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It's one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revocol, or the Coalition. People consider it a reasonable superpower. Reasonable? They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out any time, like Revocol did in its prime. A bad memory of what? Of lilacs and lightning. She squints her eyes as if to see them in the distance. Parks, glass, duraluminum. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there, and night. At least it was for me. What's so bad about that? Nothing, if you're no longer there. So what do you do, miss? Can we take a look at your passport? So what do you do? What's your specialisation? Something stupid. What's that? Orange's lit. Orange's lit? Orange's literature. It's what I studied at the university. She raises both eyebrows. So what is Orange's literature about? Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Orange's. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes. Orange's lit. What do you do with it? And nothing. I do nothing with it. How do you make money then? Money is very important. Show us some money. Cool. She looks at the black note in your hand. I've made more money just by being than I have with Orange's lit. Being what? Many things. A roller skating instructor, secretary, Miss Orange 37. She smiled. Miss Orange, now there is something you should linger on. Wouldn't it be inappropriate to linger? What is Miss Orange 37? It's a beauty pageant held in the year of our century 37 in Orange. She was 14 at the time. Wow, okay. You were 14? Indeed. I don't think I've ever been 14. I don't think I've ever heard anything less relevant to any investigation. Come on, detective, cut him some slack. This guy's been through some heavy-duty emotional stuff. Could we take a look at your passport, please? I'm afraid you can't, officer. Why is that? Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location at the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. Thank you for your candour. Why? They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. How do I know you told us your real name? If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Classe Amandu. It's a weird name. She seems to be telling the truth. I'm pretty sure I have the legal right to demand your passport, miss. Look, officer, she turns to face you both. I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom. There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law. That's not why you hid it, though. It's also why I hid it. Why else? He's suddenly very attentive. I'm an unpopular girl, she takes a drag. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. What kind of people are these, the ones that don't like you? I would love to change the subject. It's not important unless I'm some kind of suspect. She arches an eyebrow. No, we've just come to talk. Whew, she wipes her brow. Okay then. Okay, she pours herself more coffee. If any of this made her nervous, it certainly didn't show in her expression or movements. Let's go back down that line of questioning. Afraid you can't, officer. Why is that? Yeah, okay. So, let's try not yet to the suspect question. Ooh, okay. Oh, you might be. No, I'm no. She waves you off. My colleague has an exploratory sense of humour. Don't hold it against him. Okay then. Yeah, if any of this made it, yeah. The record, so official. Oh, okay, I was going to say. I thought that was a bit of a short conversation, so... nice room you've got here. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. What are you doing here in the whirling in rags? I'm wintering. How long have you been staying here? She calculates. About 4 months. I came in November. Why here? Here in the whirling? Here in Martinez? Or here in Revicol? Let's go... Revicol first. I always wanted to see the only city in the world in the worst time of the year. It's a tourist thing. This is by far not the only reason she's here, and she isn't really hiding it either. Okay, let's ask the other questions down there. Why Martinet? I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go. No, this is Sassy Town where the future of dance lies. You came to the right place. She looks at you and nods. Okay, there's other questions down there as well. Why here in the whirling? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez, and because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there. Thank you, I put a lot of time and effort into it, she says without any discernible irony. Narcomania is nothing to be proud of. It's quite impressive. How did you master such a hoard? With money, sir, she takes a drag. It's not exactly the anti-star sized caboodle I intend it to be one day, but it's getting there. The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs he eventually mutated into a corpse. The collection includes NACRA, an opioid antagonist. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids. Is that something that happens to you often, miss? His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive. Better safe than sorry, she takes the drag and smiles. You seem to have, among other things, Preptide. Oh yes, one of my favourites. It cures many ailments. Like what? Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, she thinks. Not being happy, it cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. That's as far as all that goes, then. Where does that door lead to? I have no idea, officer, she looks at it calmly. And, that window is new. It is. She moves slightly to your left to check her reflection in it. Lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. I have other questions for you. Okay. Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke. And, what is this wild flower? She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with a fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact. Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was it there? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? They tell us you were red. Okay. It's a bit early in the morning for that, isn't it? Actually, it's already afternoon. Is it? Squinting, she takes a look around. The spring sun is high in the sky. People pass below. It is afternoon. She looks into a coffee cup. Time flies, man. So were you? Yeah, she draws out the word. I'm going to go with not that. I don't want to say that about him. By him, she must mean the victim. Huh? Oh, right, okay. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more. She searches for the word, then shrugs. Vatable. By they, she means the Hardy Boys. Are you saying that you were asked to tell us that you were assaulted? Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery, sexual assault maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. So what did happen between you and the victim? We parted. Wait, parted? Where have I heard that term before? Was it Titus? A lot of partying going on from Titus about her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it. You mean like a birthday party? What kind of party? And point to your bloody face, the kind I do? With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. No one parties harder than me. Please, you're alive and 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14. She stops to take a short drag. What no one does on your level is hitting the repeat button. I'll give you that, and maybe room trashing. What did you do when you partied? We drank, sir. She takes a sip of her coffee. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him. What else? Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder, and then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. You were lovers? I guess you can say that, yes, a bit. Lovers is such an emotional word, but there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be. How did you two meet? The lieutenant's voice is quiet and calm. Downstairs, she taps on the roof with a 10-centimetre heel. At the bar, he was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. He had a cool, scary scar. When was this? A month ago? Something like that? It must have been hard for you, seeing him there. Oh yes, she says bitterly. I had a great view from the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams. A bit of cringe. It hurts. You look to Lieutenant. He takes a small step closer. You called us. The RCM. Yes. Jackpot. They call reporting the hanging. That was you. Yeah, okay. I made it, she nods, and I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In matinees, they call it snitching. Reporting crimes is confidential in Revocol, miss. The caller's voice was disguised. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. Nicked it? How? With nail clippers, and I diverted some radio fuzz into the cold wire. You were right to suspect there might be foul play involved with the broken phone line. Okay. And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs. Did I? She looks into her coffee. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing. Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. We're crossing the lines like that. Seems you had some idea that was nifty. Thanks, she managed to smile. She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills. Why go through all the trouble? I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires. Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do. I didn't want to, sir, but if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age? I'm sorry, I can't do it, she puffs on a cigarette. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair. Another puff, more nervous. I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later. So let's change the subject a bit then. So, how do the Hardy Boys know you? They're frequent guests downstairs. She looks at the floor. It's tired. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. And how did you meet? Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. Did you party? A little, yeah. Like you partied with the deceased? No, not as hard. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys? I have. Which one? Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously, but as I said, it's been a long winter. Okay, so Titus asked you to spice things up for us. Pretty much. She cradles a coffee cup in both hands, warming them. Okay. And so what did they hang him for, if not rape? He had something to do with the strike. One has been rolling since I got here. Roiling since I got here, so. Rotten timing, she thinks, but you probably know all about it. And his role in the strike was what? I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean, but I understood it was dangerous, and they lynched him for it. She nods. Okay. Thank you for telling us all of this, miss. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air of the roof feels humid. We should head back downstairs, officer. The lieutenant looks at you. We may have things to discuss there. I had something else before we go. A little thing. She nods. Silvery cigarette fume disappears into her mouth. Oh man. We need some volition. We're struggling with volition. No, okay. Why not? I'll be here until 11, drinking coffee most likely. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Cool. So cool. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset, stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law officer in the same sentence, they sound weird together. Yeah, I've been establishing it. What, are you deaf? They're perfect, like rockstar politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam, Rocky Bye, badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights, action. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and along with it, an iconic monochrome solution. A black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. Okay, we've got some... Oh, okay. Been waiting for this one. Here we go. Homer waits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the Frozen Eye at the centre of the district, then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house, no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone, and so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? Where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now. So learning cat for perception raised to 5. Speed gives 1 psi. Okay. Some kind of superstar. What is that? And we're close to this one coming up as well. Okay, we've got 2 skill points to spend. What did I say we needed to do? Volition, I think it was, wasn't it? Ah. Can't level up Volition, okay. Someone in the comments, or on Reddit, one of the two, was telling me that the different character builds make the game very different. So if we were to, if I were to play again and go for someone who had very high psych, and I think the trade-off for that is low intellect. we would, apparently it's a lot more trippy. So interesting. I'm looking forward to maybe some of the differences we got here. We got a white envelope between like playstyles. So. What is this, Kim? This is the Insulindian Lily. The lieutenant corrects his glasses, called Maybelle's or Lucille's tears during the revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle. This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it? Does this flower blossom in early spring? Yes, but not this early. Not to my knowledge. He observed the petals. It looks dry, preserved. Is it a coincidence it being on the roof? Maybe, maybe not. He makes a note in his little notebook. We'll see. Who pinned them? Which side? The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their colour, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than the sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the civil war. So potentially the petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers. Yeah, I think potentially it would make sense that she would have these flowers here if she knew the deceased, if she knew that she was sending him off to his death, basically.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Think this will make them cooperate? Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it'll disrupt the game they prepared for us, where we just stripped off one more layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. Why did she tell us all of that? What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. She seems candid. You think so? A shadow runs across his face. Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candour with some facts thrown in draws attention away from whatever one chooses to omit. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here soon enough. She's getting very interesting again. I keep finding that there's quite a lot of bumps of interest. There'll be times where I'm a little bit like, yeah, okay, and other times where I really want to know what's happening next. So I guess, well played, whatever studio this is who made this. Okay, so yeah, let's go back down and talk to the Hardy Boys again, I suppose. As soon as they, anything Kim suggests is generally a good idea. I trust him. Hi, I'm Ethan, and I'm Healer, and welcome to the H3 podcast. Sorry. Yo, Tyus.
It's you again. What is it?
Classer says she wasn't that. F the big man's eyes and veins bulge. I knew that effing whore couldn't be trusted. For the record, she steps in forcefully. Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her. Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He turns back to you. He raped her. He was out of his effing mind. You have no idea. She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't effing trust you. Yeah, she's crazy, you know, the rat-faced man says carefully. Crazy bitch, you know the type. She's effed up. This is a diversion. Stay on track. Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth. Lawman, he says through clenched teeth. I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I effing told you not to push her. His hands become fists. And you went and pushed her. Something breaks in him. He takes a step closer and says, I'm going to effing hit you, duck. Titus Hardy, her voice rings through the room like a warning shot. Evrat personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. but you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood? When she's angry, she emphasises the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Look, Copper, the tattooed man snaps his finger to get your attention. We know the dead F was that and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. He returns to Titus, who's still breathing heavily. Where's the harm, right? Oh, what's the harm, right? Here, jerkwad. He slams the audio tape on the table. Listen to this shit and then come back and tell me this soldier of Apocalypse was an innocent man. This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point you don't need to. Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me. You don't care about evidence, his eye twitches. The F are you a cop for then? Pigs, T, they don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They're effing keeping score on their bulletin boards. I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about. There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it and they'll have nothing to hide behind. That's enough. I'll get back to the final listen to it. You do that, it says, adjusting his belt buckle. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Okay. We can listen to the tape upstairs in my room, I believe. I know in the loading screens it's telling me that Revocol is pronounced Revachol or something like that, but I've already been pronouncing it Revocol for so long that it feels right. Tape machine. Compact tape player is still in silence. It seems it has completely broken down now. The machine was made in Revachol by a company called Le Mercier. The logo depicts the triple down dollar skyline it was supposedly built to last. There is no fixing this one. This would have been very helpful with the Megamix. He stares at the tape player, but it isn't anymore. Yeah, any ideas? My Kanema only comes with the radio, he ponders. Let's try and find a new tape player. Perhaps we should talk to Roy at the pawn shop. He has stuff. Oh, but we don't have money. We have 31 and we need 30 for the room tonight. So that might be an issue. Those guys about the flowers also. It's amazing how much they've done with such a small space in this game. To keep it interesting.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
I'm looking for something that plays a tape for police business. A tape? We have boomboxes for sale that will play it. Check the shelves. Those shelves? Knick-knack stand. Figurines, rags, blue uniforms, knights on horseback. No, we don't need any of that. Shelf of boomboxes. Stand on your tiptoes to see. Stand on your tiptoes to see more. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on the top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Just make sure it works before you buy it. Shopkeep, this Stereo 8 approved machine over here is the Harman Waushi W02 made in Vesper, designed in Seoul. He says it plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real. Yeah, we should have it really, shouldn't we? Okay, and here you are, quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever, turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes. Okay, let's not do it in here. Have I got anything to sell even?
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Something I like to sell. I'll check my pockets. Lieutenant's handkerchief for next to no. Empty cassette case for 50. I guess we could sell an empty cassette case. We've got a postcard. We've got a couple of postcards even. And a photo of a happy couple. Let's just inspect these things and make sure that there's no we can't inspect it. Postcard. I think we keep the photo of the happy couple, sell the 2 postcards and the empty cassette case.
Hello, hello.
It don't get
Let
us-
me know if I can help you with anything.
You don't get as much, but at least it's something. Pawn. Keep the pen in case we need to write something. Lieutenant's handkerchief. Okay, whatever. So now we're 435 away from selling, from buying the room for one night. It's gonna be interesting to see where we get the rest of the money from, to be honest. Still need to be looking around for bottles, really, don't we? Is that something that this guy's selling or what?
The shine on those sunglasses lasts a lifetime.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
He's digging his sandwich. I get this guy. He's digging his sandwich.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
Wow.
René, it's the little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Oh, hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Well, it doesn't seem... Maybe it's this guy we need to ask.
Vigilance, officer.
Okay.
What can this old carabinier do for you?
Do Maybells mean anything to you, René? He glances at it and frowns. I prefer the old name. Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck. Hold on, is this a royalist military tradition? It used to be, he says with a sigh, but the communards were fond of them too, called them revolutionary flowers, bells of the revolution. Did they bring you good luck? You know what? He falls silent and the emerging smile withdraws. No. They brought me misery, false hope and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them. But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the idea for you, was it? He looks at the old soldier almost gently. She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it. Enough, he cuts in sharply. I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So officers, Maybells don't blossom yet, do they? The lieutenant quickly asks. Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do, the old carabiner shrugs, but I think you have to wait for at least a month. René, I found your guard booth. Yes, the Debuilders Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. He looks down. Not of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man, don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight, he adds with a silent sigh. You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard. Yes, it does, he nods. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since Monday. So who was working your shift that night? No one. The booth had been unmanned since last Monday. He looks suddenly very old and tired. There's no other guard. It's just me. No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday? Yes, he nods before hesitantly continuing. It's not actually an issue. I mean... Look, officers, his partner jumps in. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before Rene. Mr. Clare had the booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative. The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals, he tries to argue. Evrat created this job for Rene because he knows the Royal Carabiners' pension of honour and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. PTSD. A decorated Kingsman collecting tar reflects bad on the whole neighbourhood, his words. Evrat gets it, big guy's looking after small. Such dependency only weakens a man. Rene is but one man, we need a programme, get all the elderly back in the job market. Rene should rent out his services, invest the profit, get a few more guys, expand. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the tar collecting, it's my side thing too. Proudly hold out the tar. Okay, yeah. There's a grimace of pain on the old soldier's face. It looks like he wants to argue but can't find words. Finally his lips move. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? I saw a picture in there. You were in it. Who's the girl? His features stiffen and he gets a cold look. She is nobody. This is none of your concern and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM. The lady is Jean-Marie Beaulieu. Gaston speaks with a soft voice, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody. Okay, got it, thanks. Yes, like I said, he brings it up again. I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out if it keeps my senses sharp. Let's try it. Oh well. He catches your glance and nods. This is the uniform of the Royal Carabiniers in service of Frisel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philippe V before him. Don't you mean Frisel of Fun? You do not speak his name, Craven. Although he was a clown, he adds. He turns back to you, but he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn. There's something you missed. You will get to it, don't worry. Okay, thank you for your time. The dented yellow mailbox greets you with graffiti, bullet holes and an RCM sticker. What white envelope? Don't remember this. But the documents inside the envelope still lack the required signatures. Okay. It's not going to be that easy. We need to dirty our hands with the signatures. He looks around. I assume that's the goal here. Okay. Right, so what's next? We've got 3 skill points. We should level up some stuff. I really don't know what to level up all. Persuasion, let's level up rhetoric. And logic. And then let's also open up a new spot. Right, so what do we want to research? Yeah, a boost to physical instrument would be good. Let's research that. Okay. Right. Who do we talk to now? Oh, we were gonna talk to Miss Fancy Pants on a boat. I'm on a boat. Still, have we been up there yet, where she is? I don't recall being up there. And it's a long way off 9 o'clock as well, which is, we need to ask after 9. We need to go speak to that guy after 9
You're
as well,
back.
don't we?
Good. What can I help you with?
I was supposed to ask people around about reality, wasn't I? This reality, she pulls a hood closer around her neck. Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case. I'm conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in. How truly curious, a sort of philosopher detective. My theory is that this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge with our murder investigation. They are really one and the same. Are they now? The lieutenant cocks one eyebrow. A deep synthesis, she nods. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead, ask. What is this? Spread your hands. A bird? She tilts her head as sphenicid, a flightless bird of the polar regions. Keep guessing. Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. Joyce raises her eyebrows. You're an ancient ruin, a symbol of hubris and decay, half submerged in some salty sea. Are you saying I'm ruined? Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. I mean, what is this place here? Ah, she spreads her arms almost as wide. This is the pier of Rue de Saint Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Okay, this is starting to bother me already. A pre-revolutionary tenement. All buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments, after les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old. She looks up at the crumbling facade. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall, a real high-rise by the standards of the last century, built to mirror the skyscrapers across the Bay of the Delta. That was before the war, of course. Who lived in them? Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Oh, hello, Cindy. Splat, splat from a dilapidated balcony. Cindy's skull gives Joyce the evil eye, a red paintbrush held to her throat. You could be wrong, but from here it appears as if she's running the brush across her throat in a sawing motion. Wonderful. Interesting. What is that? Points Cindy. The girl in the old lady rags? Yes. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture. Infraculture? Yes. You and I belong to the superculture. We're common, the hurt. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture, with its own dress code and vernacular. It's an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the superculture. I think I like to think that I'm in an infraculture, even though I live and operate in a superculture. Interesting. Okay, now explain the same thing, but to a child. I understand everything. Make it more complicated somehow. I can't, that's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. She pauses to take a long, leisurely sip of tea. Alright, what next? Suddenly you're not so sure you're part of the superculture. Let it go. Of course, no time for silly infracultures. There are more pressing reality-centric questions to be asked. Let's try one of these. In fact, 6 kilometers southwest, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, you heard what happens to Tequila Sunset in Martinez? Yes, he lost his mind, Tilbrook answers, finger on the trigger. Don't worry, Emil, he pulls on it slowly now, he'll find it again. We always do. What am I? You're an officer of the RCM, she says energetically. The Revocol Citizens Militia? Precisamundo. Good, and what is the Revocol Citizens Militia? Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement of the post-revolutionary Revocol detective. Yes, the lieutenant steps in to make a gesture encompassing you both. We are the Revocol citizens militia. He's being sarcastic. You said de facto. Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin. That's it for the who am I part. Permit me to conclude with this: who you are to me is the police, the only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revocol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, here I am to help. She bows and smiles. Yeah, okay. That's all from her. Yeah, nothing much more from her. This may remind me. So, Tuesday. Listen to the Mega Mix. Oh yeah, the tape. Bought the thing. We should listen to the tape. Inventory. Tools. Tape machine. It's pretty epic, this portable tape machine. Yeah. Now we need to... Where is it? Items. Okay, interact. Play the tape. This isn't Revocol, a man's voice says. This is a effing village. I can almost see the elephants. Another loud screech. Some kind of machinery. The harbour. Kim takes out his notebook. That's the sound of Kvalsund crane. More static. When this shit is done, I'm going to tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit, dogs and chickens too. Gonna rent a room, Corey. A real nice one. His part is unintelligible. I don't give a I am effing done. I'm done mentally. I'll effing do them all in. That disco on the counter. You know, the dancer hall upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth. A click and then silence. The rest of the tape is empty. The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your portal reel. The tape stops spinning. What was that at the very end? Silence? End of recording. What do you think? It seemed authentic enough, probably recorded off their shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbour walls. I agree, he also sounded inebriated. Still, the lieutenant looks at the tape. You are familiar with this look now, it's his look of suspicion. Who's this Corty? Corty could be short for Cortinaire, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbour gate is Mr. Right to Work. What's Kohoi? A village on the Samaran Iola in South Safra. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about. You think he was there? Who knows, maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service. A symbol of soldier of apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment. Okay, then what now? I think we've got a few more questions for class, don't you? He looks around. This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree. As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's Friday night. Okay, we can get rid of that now. Interesting. Yeah, and I think we also need to talk to the big guy. So yes, what does this give us? +1 pain threshold, blood oxygen is boring, and all psi learning caps raised by 1. Nice. Bad news. Grilamillimillion did not become a cop. In 38 went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safra, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single Wonderland skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revocol in the 30s, and also as a warning. Okay, that's rather disgusting. But it does give us some cool bonuses. Okay. We were well zoomed in then. How far zoomed in can you get? Okay. I think maybe this is a good spot to end for today. We've got some solid leads to follow up on, and some of the same people to chat to, and so we'll carry on in the next episode. Thanks ever so much for joining us, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.